Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Okay, today we're kicking off a 1 week 1 palette. I know. It's been a hot second since I've done a video like this. I love these videos. I know you guys really enjoy them too, but they are time consuming to film. I love them, trust me. It's just now that I have a 7-month-old, I have less time to film. I know you guys have heard that 1,000 times, but here we are. Are these gonna be 5 consecutive days? Probably not, but to you it'll look like they are. So I'm fine with that. You probably saw from the title and the thumbnail that we are doing it on the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is a rather new launch, and I feel like this color story is one that a lot of people will really enjoy. So I feel like maybe quite a few of you guys own this already or have your eye on it and want to possibly own it. So this video will maybe help you decide if you do want to pick it up, or if you do own it, some inspirations behind some looks. Now, I'm not a makeup artist. These are not going to be the most intricate type of looks. They're going to be probably more everyday, simple, wearable, quote unquote looks. I might get a little glam on 1 or 2 of them, but for the most part in my everyday life right now, I am wearing very simple makeup when I have the chance to apply makeup. So that's kind of going to be reflected in the eye looks that I do. So kicking off day 1, I think we're gonna stick with more of the pinky-ish mattes. So I'm going to start off with this one right here called Wit. If it's a little too dark, which I have a feeling it might be, I'm going to mix it with this one right here called Fair. So I'll probably start off mixing them and then just go in with Wit into the crease. So I have them mixed together on a rougher 16, and we are just going to buff that into the crease. Okay, it's not super pink, so we're just gonna go in with that Wit shade, which is fine. I kind of had a feeling that would happen. Yeah, that's looking more pink. I'm doing this while Ivy is taking her first morning nap. We'll see how long I get, because homegirl does not like to nap for a long time. I mean, I'm lucky at like 30, 45 minutes. If I get an hour nap out of her, I am shook. So we shall see. All right, those two are looking really good in the crease. Next, we're just going to take this vague shade right here up in the top, and we're gonna put that on the outer corner and up into the crease as well on a rougher 01. We're just going to pack this on. It's not giving me the depth I really wanted. I'm just gonna try to pack it on. I've noticed that in the last couple palettes from her that she'll have shades that are in the same family, like both Wit and Vague are pink. I guess that's giving me some depth. They're kind of similar on the eyes. I noticed that in the Retro Glam palette, and then now this one as well. I did not recommend this during my Sephora sale recommendations, mainly because I hadn't really had a chance to play with it a ton. But I don't know, guys. I wouldn't say it's my favorite palette. I like it. It's pretty, but I don't know. Maybe we'll change your mind after these 5 looks that I do, either good or bad. I don't know. Those are looking pretty though. Yeah, okay, I do like those too. And then I thought about going in with Mia right here, but I think we're gonna go with this one right here called Sheen. Instead, I feel like Mia's just gonna be too like icy pink for these pink corally, I don't know, sort of shades. I am gonna use glitter primer though. I never don't use glitter primer. I know some channels do, so that way you can see how the shimmers work, you know, without a tacky base underneath. But honestly, I never not use it because the NYX one is so affordable that it's just one that I always have on hand. I'm always using it. So sorry if you don't own it and you wanted to see what these look like without it. I totally understand, but it's like $6 or something, and this little tube will last you forever. So I recommend picking it up. I know it's an extra step, but it takes like literally 2 seconds to add it into a look, and it really does help the shimmers and stuff stick on. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I've used this color before, but I don't know if I've ever used it by itself, like off camera I've used it. Oh man, that looks like wet and really pretty. And it's like sparkly, but not too intense. It doesn't have a ton of base pigment to it, and then the sparkles are kind of smaller, which is my cup of tea right now. I am having to pack it on quite a bit. It's really subtle at first. I mean, it's still fairly subtle when I pack it on, but I don't mind that at all. I like it up into the crease like that. Ooh, that's looking really pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really like this. Simple, subdue, not a, you know, crazy, intimidating look, but that's, like I said, what I'm going for these days. So I think this is where I'm gonna keep this look for now. If you are new to my 1 week 1 palettes, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking it out. I have a whole playlist that I can link down below for you, doing this type of video with a ton of other palettes as well. If you want to check through that playlist and see if you own any of those palettes, or you had your eye on any of them, or you have palettes similar to them. So that way you can get some inspirations from those videos. But I will have that link down below for you in case you do want to check that out. But my point of saying that is I go off camera, I finish the rest of my makeup, lower lash line, everything is completed. I usually do a really simple lower lash line, and then I come back on, show you the completed look with everything done, and tell you what blush and lip product I use, because I feel like those are, you know, the ones that everyone is super interested in. But if you are curious about anything else that I use on my face throughout these 5 looks, it's going to be all listed down in the description box for you by day. So you can check out anything else that's on my face, all 5 of these looks. So let me go finish my makeup and I'll come back on with a completed look. Be right back. Alrighty, and here's the final look for day 1 for you guys. I think it's really pretty. I really enjoy just how like subtle that, what shade is that? Sheen. I just think it looks so pretty on the eyes. It's like sparkly, but not like too intense or anything. I don't know. I just really like all 3 of those together a lot. 4, I guess I used 4 shades. To finish up the lower lash line, all I did was mix together that Fair, Wit, and Vague shade right there and ran it along there. And then for my blush, I used the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Bliss. And then my lipstick was from e.l.f. This is the shade Dirty Talk. I was really loving this makeup until I sprayed the Fenty Beauty What a Do Mist on the top. This, I used to love this. This is my second whole bottle of this, and I literally used to love this so much. And I just used it for the first time today in a very long time. And it made my makeup, like my makeup is now like breaking up. I did the whole like patting it with the sponge that I do after I use almost every setting spray these days. And I feel like it's making my makeup look terrible. It's like breaking up really bad right here and then completely like came off my nose. I don't know if you can tell because I have highlight on. And then it made my mascara smudge terribly. So I will not be reaching for this again. Ever? Question mark. I'm really bummed, but because I was like really loving this makeup before that, and it still looks, it's still a pretty look. I still enjoy it, but yeah, not loving that setting spray. But that is all for day 1. Let's move it on to day 2. Okay, today I'm feeling like a matte ombre, gray, silvery sort of eye. I don't know how this is going to turn out. In my mind, it looks adorable and like super cool, but I don't know if adorable and super cool go together, but in my mind, it looks like a good eye look. So let's see if I can bring it to fruition. We are going to be using a combination of Stone, and then right here we have Mesh, also Tender, and then Silhouette, I believe, on like my outer corner. All right, on a Morphe M456, I'm gonna go ahead and take Stone and then probably Mesh after that, the 2 lightest shades. And we're going to start by tapping those on the inner corner. I've done all matte ombre looks like this before, but it's been with more colorful shades. It's been a while. My blending skills might not be up to par as they usually are since I'm not really wearing makeup that often anymore. I have a feeling maybe these gray tones will be easier to like blend all together. All right, same brush and then Mesh, which I think is a little bit deeper. Those look exactly the same. Like truly exactly the same, what the heck. Alrighty, let's move on to Tender then. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with this brush. Okay, that one's a little bit deeper. Don't worry about up here, we'll deal with that in a little bit. Okay, these are kind of all looking the same on the eye. I mean, there's a difference, but not a big one. Okay, now I'm mixing Tender and Silhouette, the one we just used, and then the darkest shade to start the ombre effect. They are meshing together nicely though, so I will give it that. I look crazy. And then we are going to go in with just Silhouette. We're gonna go ahead and use the Morphe M506. We're just going to Silhouette, the darkest one, on the outer corner here. Trust the process, Emily. Trust the process. It's just what I keep thinking in my mind right now. Oh, I need to wash my brushes. I'm trying to find a clean brush to blend this top section with. I don't have a lot of options, guys. Okay, we'll take this Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH35. I don't really support Jaclyn Hill anymore, but I've had these brushes for years. And we're just going to take this clean brush and really start to buff and blend this. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of that Mesh shade, one of the lightest ones. I don't know how I like this. Looks cooler in my mind. This is not really like blending out. What the heck? I'm like trying to blend this, and it's like just staying a pretty harsh line from that Silhouette shade. Okay, what I'm not liking is that the deep part goes over here, but just at the top. How can I fix this? I'm just mixing Tender and Silhouette and just trying to blend this out a little bit more. This like came over too much. I don't know how that happened. I mean, obviously my blending, but. All right, now on a Refer 13, we're gonna go back into Mesh and Stone, those lighter shades, and try to ombre this back out. I don't love this look. I think, should I tap a shimmer over it? I don't know if I should tap a shimmer over it. I don't know if that would help or make it worse. You know what? I think I'm going to, a lot of times this happens where I do an eye look and I don't like it until I finish the rest of my makeup. So I think that's going to be one of those cases. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'm going to hopefully like this look a little bit better. So we're going to leave it there for now. I will come back on and obviously show you the completed look, but I'll let you know what other finagling I do, if I do any, or if I add any shimmer or anything. Okay, be right back. Alrighty, here's the final look for day 2 for you guys. It got a little deep and smokier than I anticipated, and I feel like this look has potential. I just kind of missed the mark on execution this time around. I just brought the dark up on the top over a little bit too much. I did decide to keep it all matte besides the inner corner. For that, I used my Rare Beauty highlight in the shade Enlighten. This is like the perfect inner corner highlight if you are my skin tone. For the lower lash line, all I did was mix together Mesh and Stone here and ran it along there. And for right here on the inner corner to try to lighten it up a little bit, I did mix together Fair and Mesh, and that did seem to lighten it a little bit. I just can't seem to get this section lighter. I mean, I like this look, I do. It's just not the ombre look I was envisioning, but that's okay. For blush, I did go ahead and try a couple new things today. I used the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer blush in the shade Provance. I had tried these in the past, but it was a darker shade that was just too dark for my skin tone. I hated it. This shade though is beautiful and I absolutely think it is stunning on my cheeks. And then I did go ahead and top it with the Bare Minerals highlighting blush in the shade Mauve Glow. I think I used a little bit too much of this, but this is stunning. Like when I use less of it, I think it'll be even prettier. It added just like a beautiful glowy highlight, but not texture enhancing in my opinion. And then for lips, I went ahead and used my Natasha Denona I Need a New Lip Crayon in the shade Natasha. I just lined my lips and then rubbed it in a little bit. And for my gloss, I used my Kaja Gloss Shot in the shade Milk Tea. I've not used this in a while. I love this lip gloss. It is so glossy and juicy and just stunning on the lips. So we have 3 more days, 3 more looks to come up with this beautiful palette, and I'm excited to keep playing with it. Let's move it along to day 3. Okay, doke, for today we're gonna do a good old halo eye. So we are going to start off with the shade Mesh down here. And on a Refer 15, we're just going to throw that into the crease. We'll put on a second layer, add a little bit more. Okay, and then we are gonna deepen the crease a little bit with that tender shade. I might mix the two. I don't want it to be too dark, but I want a little more depth than this. And we're gonna take that on a What's Up Beauty R103 and just also run this through the crease a little bit lower, but pretty much right over top of that first shade. Yeah, that's perfect. I did mix the two. And that's exactly what I wanted. If you are new to my channel and you see it patching a little bit right here, that is just the skin on my eyes. It's happens with every shadow. It's not the Natasha Denona formula. I would never want someone new to come to my channel and like watch me do my eyeshadow and see it patching and me like not address it and be like, why is that patching on you? Like clearly the shadows are not good. It's not the shadows, it's just my eye skin. All right, we're gonna put NYX glitter primer all over the lid. And then we are going to, like I said, do a halo eye. I wanna put Ella on the outer and inner portion and then this Muse shade right here in the middle. Glitter primer all over my lid. I don't mind if it gets up into the crease a little bit as well because I'm going to put some of the shimmer up there. And we're gonna get some Ella on my middle finger. Tap that on the outer portion as well as the inner portion. Probably should have done this with a brush on my finger, but here we are. And then we're gonna take that Muse shade and put it in the middle. Both of these are really sparkly. They're just a little bit different shade. Oh yeah, so I thought the two of them would look really good together. Alrighty. I feel like these are the type of shadows that don't pick up well with a brush. That's why I use my finger. This is a Refer 21. It's just like a flat sort of brush to pack it on. So doing it this way, I feel like I'm gonna get some fallout. Yeah, definitely getting some fallout down there. Not the end of the world, but definitely something to note. I am gonna take a little bit more of that Muse shade and put it up. I'm gonna like tap it up here. So like the sparkles kind of go everywhere. Well, now that looks kind of silly because it's not, it's not sparkling on the other side. So let me try to blend that out. There we go. Okay. Ooh, alrighty. I am liking those two together a lot. And I like how sparkly they are. I feel like I'm getting back into my sparkly shadows, guys. For a while there, after I had Ivy, I just was not into sparkly shadows at all. I don't know, I almost felt like silly in them. I'm like, I'm a mom now, like I shouldn't wear sparkly eyeshadow, but that's like crazy. You can wear whatever makeup you want, no matter your situation, you know what I mean? This Muse shade in the middle is really, really pretty. I would like to use that kind of like all over the lid for a look. Probably not in this video because I already used it. I'm trying to use all of them for you. I don't know if I'll get there, but we're gonna try. Other than the little bit of fallout on my face that unfortunately I did get, I'm really liking this look. So you know the drill by now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup and I will come back on and show you the completed look. And here's the final look for day 3 for you guys. I really like how this look turned out. I think that those 2 shades that I put on the lid are so beautiful and sparkly and reflective. I'm here for it, but also still like neutrally sort of shades that are quote unquote more wearable for the everyday. To finish up the lower lash line, all I did was mix together that mesh and tender shade together and ran it along there. And then for my inner corner highlight, I used my Rare Beauty highlight again, like I did yesterday. For blush, I tried mixing the Rare Beauty matte blush in the shade Bliss with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, I almost said setting spray because I'm so used to saying that. Airbrush Flawless, I don't know. No, it's not Airbrush Flawless. Flawless Filter. Yeah, that's what it's called. In the shade One Fair. I've seen Jessica Braun and Kelly Gooch, I believe, both mix together this blush with something more like shimmery and shiny to help like tame it down and just help make it glowy. So I tried it out for the first time today. I think I like it. I didn't put any highlight on just to show you like how pretty and glowy it really did make my cheeks. I don't like how much of the pigmentation it took away from the blush. So I think next time I try this, I just need to use less of this. But I do think it's really pretty and glowy on the cheeks. And then on my lips, I have the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade JK Magic. I thought it matched the cheek color very nicely. Really quickly before I move on to day 4, I did go ahead and use the Tower 28 Serum Concealer all over my face as concealer and foundation. I've seen quite a few people say that they like to do that. I did not though. I'll probably never do it again. First of all, I had to use a ton of it. Just to cover up everything on my face. So I didn't enjoy that. I don't want to like fly through this concealer. And also I thought it was a little bit drying on me once I put it all over, which is funny because I don't feel like it's drying on my under eyes, which is like a really drying part of my face. So yeah, I don't know. I just didn't love how it looked. I feel like it's going into my smile lines a lot right now and like getting kind of cakey in my little nose crevice there, probably because I had to put more on, like I kept having to layer it up to get the coverage I wanted. So I'm assuming that's why it looks a little cakey and a little bit dry. So I will probably never use this. Actually, no, I will never use this as foundation again, but I am enjoying it as a concealer so far. So that is all for day 3. Let's move it along to day 4. Alrighty, for today, we're going to start off with the shade Fair here. And then we all are also going to end up mixing together Fair and Vague as a transition shade. On a rougher 15, we're taking that Fair shade. I honestly, yeah, this doesn't really do a whole lot on its own. It's pretty much my skin tone. So we're gonna mix together Fair and Vague and pop that into the crease. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's perfect. I like when palettes have shades like Fair because even if on my skin tone, they don't really do a whole lot because they're like the same shade as my skin tone, it's a nice mixing shade to lighten things like I just did. I do think I want to go in with just a little bit of Vague to deepen it a slight tiny bit on a smaller blending brush. This is from LaRousse, I believe. Is that the name? Yeah, LaRousse. It's their LR007 tapered blending. I don't know, I got this in Ipsy a while ago. And just a little bit smaller and denser, so we're going to deepen that up just with the shade Vague. Okay, next we're gonna put a glitter primer all over my lid, and I'm going to take Whisper on the inner portion of my lid, and then this shade called Travertine on the outer portion. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty similar. Did we need both of them? Probably not. Oh, I guess when they're swatched out, they're not as similar as they look. So this one's gonna be the inner portion, and that's gonna be the outer portion of the lid. These aren't super sparkly shades, so maybe I don't need the glitter primer. But I just always put it down no matter what kind of metallic I'm working with. We're gonna take Whisper on this inner portion and Travertine out here. Travertine is really hardly pressed. I mean, it's coming off on my finger and everything, but it's like real hard pressed in the pan. Okay, these actually look different on the eyes. I'm glad about that. Because when I was first like finger swatching them, they looked very similar and I was like, okie doke. I mean, they do look similar on the eyes, but I do think there is a difference. I'm glad Natasha Denona gave us the option for these type of shimmers in this palette as well, because there are a couple like super sparkly shimmers that I've used earlier in the week. But every once in a while, or for like every day, you might not want something that intensely sparkly, you know? And these are just really simple, everyday, really pretty shimmery shades. Next up, on a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH43, it's just a little definer brush. Use any definer brush you want. I'm gonna go ahead and take this Silhouette shade, the deepest one. I just wanna smudge this along the lash line as a liner. Just give a little bit more definition to the eyes. Part of me wants to wing this out, but I feel like every time I do a powder wing, like wing liner with powder eyeshadow, I never like how it looks, and I don't understand, because when other people do it, it's beautiful. But for some reason, I feel like it always gets really thick on me, and it just never looks as good as I feel like it does on everyone else. So yeah, that wasn't too much. It's pretty thin. It just kind of defined the eyes a little bit more. You might not even really be able to see this a ton once I put mascara on, but I just like the little extra definition. So I like this. This is really pretty. I think that's where we're going to keep the eye look for now. Let me go finish my makeup. I'll be right back. And here's the final look for day 4 for you guys. I actually really like how this one turned out as well. I just think it's a really simple, everyday, not too wham bam in your face sort of look, but still looks like pretty put together. I feel like it looks like I spent way more time on the eye look than I did. That's like my sweet spot. Eye looks that look like I spent way more time and are way harder and more intricate than they actually are. To finish up the lower lash line, all I did was run this mesh shade along there. I usually used the matte shades that I use in the look, but I wanted something really subdued and barely there, and I honestly didn't really want that pink on my lower lash line. I feel like it kind of makes me look sick sometimes, so I wanted to forgo that. For blush, I first used the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer blush in the shade Southbound. Is this very similar to the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Bliss that I own? Yes. But I got this one sent to me in PR. Really, really pretty. I'm actually enjoying this formulation way more than I thought I was going to. And then I topped it with the matte blush of the Patrick Ta, a monochromatic moment blush in the shade She's Passionate. Just wanted to add a little bit more peachy sort of vibes that match the eye look. And then for lips, I use my Buxom Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Smooth Spice. I lined my lips and colored them in, and then topped it with the Makeup by Mario Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Pink Glow. I think these two look really nice together. So overall, I like the whole monochromatic theme of this look, and this eye look, like I said, just looks, I don't know, just simple, everyday, and really pretty in my opinion. So we've got one more day left. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like looking down at the palette like, what should I do? So I have no idea. We will see tomorrow my time, in a few seconds your time. And I'm excited to finish up the week with this palette and give you one more look. So let's move on to day 5. Okay, I don't think you can hear it in the background, but if you can, one of my neighbors is deciding to just blast music. Not sure why. I went out there and looked, and I don't know if he's just like working on his car or what's happening, but he's blasting music. And I have to film right now because Ivy is taking a nap. So I am on a limited schedule of when I can film throughout the day. So I don't, like I said, I don't think you can hear it, but just in case you can. All right, we're on our 5th and final day. I don't think I'm gonna be able to use this Mia shade. I'm so sorry. I know that's like the most sparkly pink, beautiful shade. So I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to get to use it in this video, but I am going to get to use every other shade besides that, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna start off with Stone up here and put it in our crease. Almost forgot to prime my eyelids. Oh, I feel like I'm out of it today. It's Friday and Mike and I are hosting his family's Thanksgiving tomorrow. So we have just like a ton of cleaning to do tonight. We have to go to the store. I'm sure a lot of other people relate to this, that you just feel a little stressed when you're like hosting something, you know? So I just feel like I'm out of sorts. Well, on a rougher 15, we're going to put that Stone shade in the crease. I really like this shade. I just think it's a great cool tone, light, transition-y sort of shade for my skin tone. And then we are going to take a little bit of this Tender shade on a What's Up Beauty R103 and put that into the crease as well, just to deepen it a tiny bit. Back in with a little bit of Stone, just to make sure there's not a harsh edge. Okay, then I'm going to put glitter primer all over my lid, and I think I'm going to put this Travertine shade all over my lid as well, and then top it with this Delilah shade, which is just like a really beautiful, sparkly taupe sort of shade. I feel like this eye look will turn out a little deep and dark for my skin tone, but I think it'll be pretty. Just gonna pack that on the lid. Okay, yeah, that's not as dark as I thought it was gonna be. That's good. I'm glad about that. And then we're gonna take that Delilah shade and just tap it on top. It's just gonna add a little bit extra sparkle, a little extra va-va-voom. Ooh, yeah. Do you see all those sparkles? That is pretty. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's also take that Mia shade and to put a little bit of that on top too. It's gonna lighten it probably a little bit because it's pinky, but I don't mind that. So I think I am going to get to use all of the shades for you. I mean, I know I'm not really showcasing Mia and all its capabilities because I'm just lightly tapping it on top. But I think Mia and Delilah, the other one I'm using, are similar, just different tones. Ooh, okay. That is beautiful. I am digging that. I really try to use every shade in a palette whenever I do these 1 week 1 palettes for you guys. That way I'm showing, you know, every shade being used. I would appreciate that if I was watching a video like this. This is what it looks like with just Delilah, and then obviously with Delilah and Mia. So Mia definitely brightened it up and lightened it up. Again, I don't mind that, but if you wanted something a little darker and smokier, I would probably just go in with Delilah and not Mia as well. And I have some like down here that I'm gonna have to clean up, but that's why I like to do my eyes first, so that way if I get fallout or I need to like sharpen the edge or anything, I'm able to do so. So I really like this. I think this is a really pretty, just sparkly, but still everyday wearable sort of a look. Let me go do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. And here's the completed 5th and final look for you guys. I really like how this one turned out. I honestly, it might be my favorite look of the 5. I just think it looks so pretty and put together and like simple, but still sparkly and va va boom. And I'm just really digging this eye look. Not gonna lie, to finish up the lower lash line, all I did was run that stone shade along there really simply. I always do a simple lower lash line. And then my inner corner highlight is from my Dior quad that I used as my other highlight as well. For blush, I went ahead and used my Givenchy Prism Libre blush, the loose one in Organza Sienna that I just got in the Sephora sale. I wanted to use it by itself for you guys. I also hadn't used it by itself yet either, just to see what it looked like by itself, because when I did try it on in my Sephora try on haul, I layered it over the Rare Beauty Blush in Bliss. Ooh, Blush in Bliss. And it was beautiful then, and I actually think it's really beautiful on its own as well. It just gives a little hint of like orangey, and it does have a little bit of sheen and glow to it that just helps make your face look like healthy. And then for lips, I went extra. I went ahead and lined my lips with the Makeup by Mario. This is his Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Liner in the shade Toasty. Like I said, I lined my lips and then just kind of blended it in a little bit. And then I used the Lunar Beauty, his like bullet lipstick in the shade Icon. And then I wanted it to be a little glossy, so I went ahead and topped it with the Bite Beauty. This is their Yay Say or Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Sugar Drizzle. I know you cannot get this anymore. Bite went out of business. So sorry for using this. I just hadn't reached for it in a while and wanted to give it a go. And it just added a little bit of sparkly gloss, but you can get that with a lot of glosses that are still available. So that was it, you guys. That was my 1 week 1 palette with the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I liked all the looks that I came up with, and I didn't really struggle either with the mattes being patchy or the shimmers having like fallout or anything like that. I really do like this palette. Is it like my all-time favorite palette that I'm going to reach for nonstop all the time, anytime I need like a simple everyday look? Probably not. Although it is beautiful. I feel like after doing these 5 looks, I like this palette more. I was a little bit on the fence about it coming into this video, and I do think that I like it more now that I used it for these 5 looks. So let me know down below, have you picked this palette up? Are you going to pick this palette up? Which one of the 5 was your favorite looks? I always like hearing that below in the comments. I'm just curious which one that you guys liked the best. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome. I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.